All right, let's get deeper into these beat effects. I want to switch over to the next one. This one is called the transform. It is our second one here, so let's go ahead and switch that. And I'm going to switch master also over to 4. So we are good there. Channel 4, transform, solid. Now, this transform is actually based on the transform scratch. And there's a really interesting story around this. It involves some DJs from the Philadelphia area, including DJ Jazzy Jeff, who you may have heard of, amazing DJ. And he and Cash Money, there's a debate over who invented the transform scratch. But I just want to demonstrate this to you really quick before we do the effect, because I think it's a really cool thing for context. So let's go ahead and play this. I'm going to switch this crossfader over to cut. And now I'm moving the crossfader and cutting the sound in and out. Okay, so this is the transform scratch essentially, and by moving your hand back and forth and the crossfader tight like this, you can create this transform sound, which it was named the transform after the show Transformers, which was a big cartoon. I think it was in the 80s, maybe, was the actual cartoon. And then obviously most of you probably know the movies and whatnot. So anyways, transform is named after the Transformers because it sounded like a transformer when they were doing that, like a like this robot sound. Anyways, fun facts. Okay, so now let's go to our beat effects. All right, so right now, the problem that I see here is my BPM's not correct, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit play, and then the BPM will snap in here. So now that we've got that going, go ahead and switch this over. Let's make the beat, let's do it on a 1 beat. One, right? Let's switch the beat. Let's make it half. Quarter. 8. So this could be a really cool effect to use, especially in a build, or especially if there's like this riser that's happening, or the sound, this sustained sound. Using the transformer sound could be really cool there, right? Probably not as much if there was just a beat playing. In that case, I wouldn't want to use such a tight time frame. I would probably want to do like a 1 beat maybe, or like you could do like a 2 beat here. Although it does sound like something's wrong. So just be conscious of that. I want you to give this a shot. Try the transform out. See how you like it. See how you use it. Maybe try it with a 1 beat, then go to half, then quarter. Give that a shot. All right, let's talk about the flanger. So we've got another beat effect here. It's called the flanger. The echo, the transform, and the roll, I consider rhythm effects. And the flanger has a little bit more leeway, or you have a little bit more leeway with the flanger. Let's put it that way. So I'm going to switch over to flanger. All right, we've got the flanger. Let's do the flanger on 4. So I'm going to switch over to channel 4. Still good there. And actually, yeah, that's good. Okay, so the flanger happens, you'll get this flange sound if you actually have 2 of the same songs on top of each other, and they're pretty much exactly on top of each other. They'll start to kind of phase each other out a bit, and it creates this, almost like this airplane kind of sound. It's almost like a jet, what it sounds. It's hard to describe, but I'll show you here in a minute. And what I want to do is I want to try to get the flanger to be over a longer period of time. So we could do the flanger over like 1 beat or half beat, and that's going to sound a certain way. It's going to sound a little bit robotic. But when we get it over, 16 beats or 32 beats, 64 beats, even 128 beats, it's going to create this really nice sound. And this is going to be something that will add texture, especially to, let's say, a drop or an area that's maybe a little bit more flat, like a mix point. This could add an extra layer to that. So let's go ahead and play. Let's switch over my flanger. Here, I'll show this to you first at one beat. Very robotic, right? Half beat, even more so. It feels like you're underwater, but now watch what happens when we get wider. See how it feels like there's a lot more movement happening? And if we peel back the wetness a little bit, we can get it to fit better into the mix. Just adding a little bit of texture here. All right, your turn. Check out the flanger. Try it short, try it wide. See how you like it. All right, our very last beat effect that we're going to cover right now is the roll. And this one is very fun. This is essentially creating a loop. And I'm going to show you here in a moment how we can actually use this to create another deck if we want to, a quote-unquote other deck. In fact, this is definitely kind of like a veteran DJ trick to show you how to do this. All right, so the first thing we need to do is let's switch this over to roll. So I'm going to move it over to roll. There it is. And then I'm just going to leave it on master for this one. Let's leave it on master. This also is a rhythm effect. So the musical timing definitely matters. The BPM matters. Right now I'm showing 40 beats per minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the song first so this can snap in to 125, and then I'll start the roll. If I start the roll now, it'll do it to 40 BPM and it's going to be a mess. So let's not do that. And then, of course, our on and off and our level depth, you already know what it is. You guys are awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and get in here. Now it's 125. We're good there. Let's make a one beat roll. Here we go. 1. See how it's just playing here? And notice the track is still running. So in fact, I can even lower this down now. Let's take it all the way down. Let's lower it down to half. Check this out. Okay, I want you to be able to try it out. But actually, real quick, before you try it out, I'm having a lot of fun over here. Before you try it out, I want to show you the old school trick of how people were using this to create another deck to even be able to swap between DJs. So this wasn't happening in Tribe inside of virtual reality headsets. This is happening at the actual club. And let's say you just needed to switch out DJs, and maybe DJs were using laptops or whatnot, and you didn't have another song that you could play, because as soon as you disconnect the USB cable from the laptop, all of the sound's going to cut out. So you could actually use the roll function to be able to do this, to be able to create a beat. So check this out. So if we go and make our, let's play, let's make our roll as big as we can. So here we can only go up to 4, and we're going to go ahead and turn this on. I'm going to turn this track off. It's still playing. Right? And then I could mix something else in. Potentially, right? Because this is playing right now. So I can mix another song in, I can do whatever. Like, and in order to mix out of this, I would use this, because basically the level is like our volume. That's like our volume, right? So like, let's just even mix this original song back in. There you go, right? You'd have to, there's no way to sync that though, right? So there's no way to sync the roll, what's captured inside of the mixer. There's no way to sync that to this, but in a pinch, this could be a cool thing to try out. So now I want you to go ahead and try the roll. You don't need to try it at 4 beats. Maybe try it at 1 beat, try it at a half beat. Try to do what I was showing you just now and try out that beat effect.